Hey, it's Clay at claytrader.com. This is my top 10 stocks as we head into Monday, November 27th. This will be a technical analysis breakdown. So if you're someone that uses charts within your trading, or maybe you're interested in learning more about charts and how it can be used as a tool to help make good decisions as a trader, this would be a video for you. A couple of quick clarifications. Number one, the candlestick that you see right there will be moving around. That's because the market's still open for a small amount of time. But I like to do these videos when the market is still open because sometimes we can capture some really interesting late day price movement. And then second, I'll be using the 30-minute time frame, meaning each one of these candlesticks here represents 30 minutes worth of time. And one other special note, the market's closed Friday at 1 p.m. Eastern time. With Thanksgiving being on Thursday, it was just an early closure today. So that's why this video is getting out earlier than normal. So like I said, first stock, ticker symbol TSLA. And overall, pretty non-eventful day today for a lot of stocks just because low volume, not a lot of people around. But overall, still a good day here for Tesla. Made a move up, and yes, it did pull back here a little bit as I speak. But in doing so, you can see that I've now been able to draw a very, miniature short-term bull flag pattern. So yeah, it's pulling back late day today, but all things considered, still made a good solid move up, and it's got that bull flag pattern headed into next week. As far as areas of resistance are concerned, key level to watch moving forward, if there is any sort of attempted move back upwards, going to be right there initially at the 238.80-ish mark, so keep a close eye on that. And then if the price can push up through there, you have these levels. In fact, I better map that out just in case Tesla makes one of its bigger moves. And you have that next level up there right around the 243.50 mark. In terms of areas of support, in the very near term, if the price can manage to stay up above that purple line there, which is doing a good job of battling with right now, that would be great. But from the bigger picture point of view, as long as the price is above that 231 mark down there, then overall, I would say the bigger picture chart is perfectly fine. So, in summary, I'd call this one just a little miniature bull flag is formed. So we'll see if this bull flag can lead into a breakout next week. Next one here, ticker symbol MCOM. Pretty crazy day on this one, especially that opening 30 minutes. I mean, check it out. Huge, massive move, and then no doubt about it, there has been a pretty nasty pullback from there. But that's where, for those longer time viewers, you know what I'm saying next, there can be opportunity in the ugly. So yeah, things are looking pretty ugly right now with this big old pullback, but the price is still holding up above that purple line right there, the 50-period moving average, which I just talked about on Tesla, and you can see right there a good example of it acting as support. So that still leads me to believe, and while there is no such thing as a guarantee, in my mind it becomes plausible, and let me just extend this out to illustrate it, so we'll just, as it continues to go flat. But moving forward, like I said, no guarantee, but is it plausible, is it reasonable to think that the price could come down here again, find some support, and then maybe make another attempted move back to the upside? Now, does it get all the way back up to highs? I mean, there's no reason why it couldn't, but my point is even if it doesn't, even if it just goes halfway up that high, relative to what was being risked, you could be looking at a very good risk-reward scenario. So if you like to play these sorts of situations where you get a huge explosive move, and then things start to turn ugly, but you still got some areas of support, I definitely keep a close eye on it. Next one, ticker symbol VS. And same general idea here, although it's not nearly as ugly as MCOM that we just looked at, but same general idea. It had the nice move, the gap up, nice opening 30 minutes, and then it has started to pull back since then. So it just becomes one of those situations where if you like to play those pullbacks, then you have another one here that could potentially give you an opportunity. So the first area of support that I'd say to keep an eye on would be right down there at that 23-cent mark. And then if you want to get very aggressive and look for things to turn quite ugly, but not go totally ugly, that would be this gap close location down here right around the 18-cent mark. Not only because it's a gap close location, but when you look closer, you can see there's a couple of key moving averages down there. You have that purple line and pink line right around that general area. So again, does that mean that it'll go down there and bounce? No guarantees, but like I said, depending on just how ugly you want things to become, those give you a couple different, avenues to watch from that regard. So another penny stock here, another potential pullback play. So if you like pullbacks, you like penny stocks, you have another choice. Another one here, SPRC. And now there has been a pullback here, but I wouldn't call this an ugly looking pullback. In fact, this one's got, I would say, more of a nice little bull pennant formation here that's formed. So let me draw that out so you can see, put the golf down there for you golfers, make it a little bit more visual. So there's a bull pennant that I'm seeing there. But at the core, what stands out to me is just the top part of this consolidation area right here at $11.50. And I think it's reasonable to think that if the price can continue to just chop around, go sideways like it's been, and then make a push back upwards, I would consider, all this a very healthy consolidation. So after, healthy consolidation for the price to come up here and break up through there, I think it's valid to think that break there at $11.50 could create some nice upwards momentum. And if that were to occur, then I'm not saying the price goes straight up to this area, but what I am suggesting is there's not really any other areas of resistance up until right around 1420. So in some senses, you basically have a little miniature blue sky breakout here. As like I said, there just isn't anything until you get up to that area right there. In terms of areas of support, and once again, for you pullback players, interesting level from a potential pullback area right down there around $8.90. But all in all, big explosive move, a little bit of a pullback, good sideways action right now. So we'll see if it can curl back upwards next week. Next one here, AMC, and this will mean a little bit more to those of you that watched the video previously, but I talked about how this right there was a good solid bounce, but at that point the question became, well, is there any sort of genuine strength? And that was, okay, well, let's see if the price can make progress, and I define progress as staying above 675. So with that summary out of the way, you can see that, yeah, today was not explosive. The price didn't put in any new highs or anything, but it's at least maintaining itself. And as long as the price does stay above that level right there, what would you have? Well, you'd have a set of lows there. You'd have these lows down there. And if you envision these as stair steps, you would still have stair steps making progress in the upwards direction. And again, that's what a truly strong move is going to do. Not go straight up, but at least show signs of progress. And as of right now, that quote unquote sign of progress is still fully in play and fully being accomplished. If it does try to move upwards, though, you have a big looming area of resistance right there, that purple line, which I know on a couple other charts was a key area of support. But in this situation, because this is actually up above the price, this would be considered an area of resistance. So if the price does try to work its way upwards, then definitely keep an eye there on that 50-period moving average. Real quick, want to take a break and personally invite you to get signed up for this free live online class that I'm offering next week. So if you've been enjoying what you've seen and you want to learn more about this tool, how it can and should be used to build consistency and manage risk, then definitely get signed up for the free live class. If you're watching on YouTube, there's a link down in the description box, or if you're watching at my site, there's an area right there on the webpage that you can click to get signed up. So like I said, if you've been enjoying, then definitely get signed up for the free live class. Next one here, ticker symbol MARA. Talked about this one previously, and you can see this area was a support, and it did a great job of holding strong here. So I'm actually just going to adjust this level up. And assuming you're bullish, whenever levels of support need to be adjusted in the upwards direction, that's always a good sign. So I would call the newest area of support now right there at the $11 mark. And then as far as resistances and such going forward, in my mind, there's a pretty well, oops, did not mean to, there we go. There's a pretty well-defined little trend line here that is starting to form, give or take, right up around that area. So I would keep an eye on that. And then for you pattern players, if you prefer to try to look at things more so from a pattern standpoint, we have a resistance, we have a support, we have the big upwards move here. Again, let's make it a little bit visual for you golfers. And we have ourselves another bull pennant pattern. So I know the other bull pennant was on a penny stock. So if penny stocks are not really your thing, here is one that's not a penny stock, but you do have that bull pennant pattern. So let's see if the bulls can get a break to the upside next week or not. Next one here, PLTR, and another pretty rough day here. It did recover back a little bit from its lows when it hit them down there near in that opening 30 minutes. So like I said, it did recover, but still continues to press downwards. And I'm going to go ahead and delete out this level here as I think it served its purpose for now. But the first major update comes about based on the foundation rule in charting, which states when levels of support are broken and closed below, they tend to act as resistance. And you can see that rule played out perfectly here. I mean, you could throw this right into a textbook. Price broke down during that opening 30 minutes, tried to bounce upwards, and right there it got rejected. So if there is any sort of attempt to move back upwards, 1960 remains an area of resistance. But actually in the very near term, the level that you're now going to want to watch, and this is why I'm calling this a little bit more of a bearish day, is the price is now even down below that 200-period moving average, which again, same rule, was the level of support. But after the price broke below, you can see, look how it just acted as resistance, 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 resistance. So I'm not saying the price can't break above that pink line. I'm just saying that as we're seeing right now, the price is really going to need to bring it to A game. But even if it does, I wouldn't get too excited because not that far away, you then have the level of resistance up there at 1960. Next level here as far as support, and I'm sorry, I had to pause it real quick because I don't know if the mic picked up. My daughter came in crying, so if it caught the tail end of it, that was why. But key level of support here, nothing fancy in terms of logic other than just simply asking the question, where did the bleeding finally stop today? And that was right down there at, we'll call it right around 1895. So keep an eye on that if this does roll back over. If it does, potentially you get some sort of double bottom. So that is a valid question to throw out there. Maybe a double bottom pattern forms. But yeah, overall, not a good day to end the week. Next one, ticker symbol CLSK, and as of now, not a whole lot I can talk about in terms of, playing breakouts because as you see, did it again, there we go. As you can see right here, the price is actually already broken out. So yes, in terms of trying to play a breakout, that opportunity has missed, but with that being said, it now leads to a very fun question to always be asking, is this the start of something bigger? Think about that question. It makes no sense to ask that question if nothing worthwhile, if nothing exciting is even happening. But that's not the case here, right? You do have something exciting. You do have a breakout, so we can ask, yeah, is this the start of something even bigger? To be fair, I mean, maybe it's not. Maybe this thing just rolls right back over. That's always possible, but that is a two-sided coin because, I mean, well, maybe it is the start of something bigger, and this thing just continues to rock and roll next week. That's always possible too. But at the end of the day, the key dynamic here is that a breakout's occurred. It's happening on good, solid volume, which you can see down here. So it makes very valid sense to wonder, is this breakout the start of something even bigger? We'll see what next week has to offer. Next one here, ticker symbol BLGC. Or excuse me, I lied. BGLC. BGLC is a ticker symbol, and just as a reminder, in case you can't understand what I'm saying, you can just see it right there. But another penny stock here with an interesting dynamic, and this interesting dynamic is a little different than what we just looked at because this one has not yet broken out. But we can still ask a pretty interesting question, is this, will this level break out? Now, the market does close here. Actually, it's going to close any second now. But, if the price can break up through that level, then that could very well create another round of momentum, even if it's a self-fulfilling prophecy of a bunch of people saying, I'm a breakout player. Oh, look, that's breaking out. Oh, I'm supposed to buy. And then they buy, and then you just get that much more momentum. So keep an eye on 92 cents here moving forward, or 0.923 as that main area of resistance, because you can see here the price has approached it. So will it break out? Very fun question. If it does break out, then you can ask the question we were just asking, okay, is this the breakout, the start of something even bigger? For those of you that like to play the pullbacks, then you have a pretty well-defined level down here at the 63-cent mark. You can see the price found, some bids down there several times earlier on in the day. But all in all, interesting setup, very, very close to that area of resistance. So yeah, can it break through it next week? We'll see what happens. Next one here, TQQQ, which is an ETF that measures the NASDAQ. So if you believe the NASDAQ market as a whole is going to go up, this one will also go up. And today, NASDAQ didn't really do a whole lot. So that's why this one didn't do a whole lot. But I will say from a bigger picture standpoint, it did do some bullish things. Namely, it was able to manage and to stay above that line there that I've talked about in previous charts down there at the $44 mark. And it's done a fantastic job of holding right up here within that purple line, which you now know is that 50-period moving average. In some senses, almost a little bit of deja vu like it did back here. Before holding up and then making another nice move. Does that mean it'll make another nice move here? No guarantees, but I don't think that would shock anybody. So like I said, not the most exciting day, but I would say a healthy day from a bigger picture point of view, given the price was able to hold above both those areas of support. In terms of areas of resistance, nothing new here to report. You still have that initial level down there, which I think will play a role next week. I think the market will care about that. But even if the price does break up through there, then the much more important level up there around 45.60. And if the price can break above there and stay above it, then that would be a very impressive sign of strength that this current overall upwards move has still got full strength behind it. So like I said, with the early closure today, not a lot going on, but it was good and healthy to see the price maintain those areas of support. So that wraps up the top 10 list. Again, if you like what you saw here, then I want you to go get signed up for that free class. It'll be next week, Thursday, November 30th at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. So I hope to see you there. As far as these top 10 videos are concerned, if you enjoy these, please do two things for me. It really helps out the channel, helps out these videos. Hit the like button, leave a basic comment. Say hi. Tell me what you traded today. Give me your watch list for next week. Tell me what you had for Thanksgiving other than turkey. But like I said, or tell me something you're grateful for. But those two things really do help out. So hit that like button, leave a comment below. Go get signed up for that free class. Everybody take care. Thanks for watching and have a great weekend.